Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. I get to be outside today because it's super sunny. It might be cold, but the sun sure does warm up the earth on these December days. I'm going to be putting out some twinkle lights today, but I also thought it would be fun just to walk you through the garden so you could see what it actually looks like here in December. So let's take a look. I think you can hear some birds maybe even, which is pretty cool because I thought most of them are gone. Okay, so here's what we're going to install, and I'm going to put these around a boxwood, and then the other one I haven't completely decided yet, but I think there's two boxwoods that I'm considering putting these around in my back garden because I think they'll look really pretty and kind of deck the garden for the holidays. Let's get started. So you can find these twinkle garden lights just about anywhere. What I love about them is that they're really easy to install. They are a solar panel, so they help to collect all of the sunlight during the day, and I'm going to place that facing the south. And as it collects it, it will feed it through the copper wires into the LED lights, and voila! So it's super simple. On the back of these, they have a couple of buttons. It has a mode which switches between flashing or twinkling or kind of glowing. So there's all sorts of different modes for it. And then just an on and off button. So you can actually leave them in your garden if you want to just turn them off. So we'll start with this boxwood right here. This is one that I put these lights on last year and it looked so cute. And I actually ended up leaving them up all winter. So I'm just going to put them on just like I would a normal Christmas tree. And hopefully there won't be any tangles in the line. The copper wire really hides itself well within the bush, so it's nice because you don't have to worry about what it shows, whether it shows or not. And you can keep twirling it around and around, and it's really, really easy, as I said, to put on and to take off at the end of the year if you want to. And then I like to end it in a spot that I can remember, so I'm just going to end it right up at the top here and kind of pinch the wire around it. Okay, well, I am going to leave this here and we'll put the other ones up. Okay, so I decided that the other boxwood I was looking at putting these on was a bit small for this, so I thought it'd be fun to put these around this hydrangea. I'm just going to brush off the solar panel to make sure that it's nice and clean so it can get that light from the sun. The nice thing about these in the wintertime is that there's really no shade because all the leaves are gone. So I'm just going to wrap it all the way around the outside of the entire bush. And I'm just kind of weaving it in and out of the branches up here at the top to ensure that it stays in place. It is a bit windy, so I apologize if you hear the wind. And then we'll come back out tonight and see how these look. I think I'm actually going to just take this little twine at the end and drop it down in the middle because that will look pretty. I'm excited to see how these look tonight. While we wait for the evening to come, let's just take a quick stroll through the garden and see what it looks like in December. One of the things that is showing off right now is the Hakone Chloe grass. It has this beautiful tan color and the seed heads are on it, and it just looks lovely. I think that's going to look beautiful when it snows again. As you can see, my rhododendrons are happy and green, and they will also be a very nice contrast to the snow when it comes again. And so I'm excited. I did those small transplant of the grass throughout the season, and I like how they're adding a little bit of winter structure to this bed, where otherwise it would just be hostas that are now gone and tucked away for the winter. My oak leaf hydrangeas, I have a few of them here that are still holding on to leaves because they're in more sheltered place. But that's nice to continue to see greenery. And these roses and the boxwoods. And I'm quite surprised how long these autumn ferns have lasted. I wonder what your experience has been in your zone. Where do you grow? And if you have these ferns, are they still green for you too? The Japanese tassel fern that I planted over here is also green still. Isn't that beautiful? I just love a nice sunny day in the wintertime where you can get out and soak up some rays, get a little vitamin D. It's good for the body and the soul. Look at that mega caramel heuchera. That's so pretty still. I was really excited to buy that. And you can still see some of the mahogany monster heucheras that are coloring up this bed. And the weeping spruce, that's going to look so pretty in the snow. And again, the texture of the Hakone Chloe grass is great. I have one more load of hostas that I have not put in the compost pile yet. This bed also is kind of showing off with its azalea and the heuchera that are in it. And this barberry actually has not lost all of its leaves yet, but it's getting close. Again, just look at the way that mahogany monster heuchera is showing the color in here. And then these pieris, my goodness. I love those little flowers that they put out. I thought they bloomed in early spring, but I guess this is their blooms, or maybe these are the buds. This is only my second year growing pieris, and the first ones that I got did not bloom at all. That's these right here. And they don't seem as happy as these others, so I'm really excited about having the other two here because, wow, the color and the daintiness of the blooms is just spectacular. And then it's really nice to have that semi-evergreenness of those foxgloves along with the heucheras that are planted in this bed as well. Surprisingly enough, my daylilies have put on some nice green foliage. And I've left some of the seed heads on from the mums and from the little gold star rudbeckia, because I think that they just look really pretty in the winter. And this rose of Sharon, the seed heads on those are also really beautiful. And you can see my sedums have browned out, but they make a really lovely addition to the landscape during the winter, providing a bit of structure and really neat little caps for the snow to land on. And yet a little more color from the heucheras and the buddleia, which this butterfly bush, I cannot believe it's still holding on to its leaves. And the climbing rose up against the fence is still green. We haven't had super cold weather yet. It's just been cold enough so that everything has really changed color and dropped leaves. This holly is a really nice punch of green also. I'm excited to see that bush continue to grow and fill in this area. And these barberries have some stunning color on them yet. I do leave the foliage of the mums over the winter just to help protect the crowns of the plants. And the bright color of these golden false cypress is going to be stunning during the snowy season as well, with the dried seed heads from or flower heads from the hydrangea. And I also left quite a few of those on the hydrangea by my fountain. It's only around, I think, 2:30 in the afternoon right now here, and it's almost like sunset. It's kind of bizarre this time of year how short the days get. But it's nice to have the sun low in the sky. It comes down and warms everything up. The lavender are still looking beautiful, and look at this. I think this hydrangea has dried the best this season. This is the firelight. Not much to look at over here. The raspberry bushes are definitely crinkling up and dying back for the season. And the roses as well. I plan to clean up these hydrangeas in the spring. So I'm just going to leave these are the Incredible hydrangeas, and I just want to leave them and let the leaves fall off, and in the springtime we'll cut them back a little bit, not too far. I'll probably leave about 12 inches above the ground. But for now they will stay. I have some seed heads on the asters here, which I could collect and use to make little seedlings. But they'll probably do that themselves in the garden a bit, which I don't mind too much. And this is the one hibiscus that I did not cut back. So this is the first winter for my hardy hibiscus, and I'm going to see whether this one seems to do better than the ones that I cut back. Because I don't necessarily know in my climate and my zone which way is the best way. A lot probably depends on how wet your winters are and a number of different factors. So here's another cool thing, is just leaving the seed heads on my penstemon here. Aren't those pretty? I have collected some of those, so I'll try to seed those over the winter and grow some more. Okay, let's check out the potager now. So in the potager, I still have my tents over my parsley and my lettuce back here, which are working really well. And just look at the color over here still that I have. The lingonberries are growing really pretty. They have the little red on their stems. And the Virginia. And of course the Ajuga along the pathway here. The colors from the asparagus fern are certainly quite pretty as well. I just love the way that they look as the sunlight filters through them. So I'll take you a look and show you what the parsley looks like. Here's the parsley. Pretty good overall. And then I think you can see the lettuce through here. The lettuce is looking really good. This just lets all of the light and the rain right through. And I have some stakes in it right now so that it holds the tent in place when there's a big wind. But yeah, I've enjoyed using those so far this year. We still have some pink berries on our coral berry bush here. And of course the heads on the pinky winky hydrangea are looking quite beautiful as well. I think a lot of people feel like the gardening season is over in October, but I really like to see what's out here in the middle of winter and what's left looking beautiful. You can see how the grasses really add to this bed along with the boxwoods for a little bit of winter interest. And we'll check it out in the snow too later on. So this bed here has a lot of lily of the valley in it that dies back and comes back in the spring, and I will just leave it there over the winter. Look at the beautiful bright red berries on this barberry. And then in this bed, you can really see how even though the hostas are gone, the hellebores and the big root geranium really help to provide some greenery to show some life all throughout the winter. And it also really makes it striking when you look at the bark on this Japanese maple. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, this bed over here is also got some interest in it, but I do need to cut back those baptisia. I'm hoping at some point, those are the big bushy blackish looking plants right now. I do need to get in there and hack those back. They can stay over the winter if need be, but we did get some snow and some sleet and that kind of thing, so I just haven't gotten out to finish that up. That's kind of the last task I have going on. Look at the big rose hips on this rose. I love those. And then this crabapple, this Louisa, is going to look very pretty with its red colored stems. And the really deep colors of the ajuga in this bed, along with the blue juniper, are nice. In the front bed, the boxwoods are always gorgeous as they stay green throughout the winter. They may take on a little bit of a bronzy color. And if yours do that, don't worry too much. That's pretty normal in really cold weather for them to do that. But with the seed heads and the upright growth of the barberry and the oak leaf hydrangea and the cool arching structure of this cherry tree, I think we have a lot to look at in the winter. And in this garden bed is also where I added a couple of variegated boxwoods from the planters that I got on clearance at the end of season. So those two also provide a bit of a glowing, colorful addition to the winter garden. All right, well, it is getting to be dark outside. We have a beautiful sunset out. And so I thought I'd come out here and show you what the twinkle lights look like. As you can see, this one's on a little bit of a fade and glow, and this one is the one that we put on the hydrangea standard. Isn't that pretty? And it will change modes as it goes. You can see this one over here. And actually, we have a deer who is with us right now in the backyard. I wonder if we'll be able to see him on camera or not. Oh, there he goes. And this one is so pretty. Look at that, how it glows. Just going to add a little sparkle and a pretty glow to the backyard in the nighttime. Very easy to do. You can get these just about any place. These lights are pretty available at places like hobby stores, like Michael's or Joann Fabrics. You can get them online, Amazon.com. And it's just a simple way to brighten things up around the holidays. We are getting ready to put out the rest of our Christmas lights as well, and I'm really excited for that. I do have some of these in green and blue because they do come in other colors as well. Let's take a look at the one on the hydrangea standard. This one you can see really well from the house, even better than the other one because it is tall. And you can see what a neat little statement they'll make in your yard. Look at that beautiful sunset, isn't it gorgeous? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as we put up more lights, I will share that with you as well. So thank you so much for joining me today and taking a look at the garden and the twinkly lights around the yard. I hope to see you next time. Bye!